Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, whenever you watch this, peeps. This is Romanji, and this is one of those rants I was talking about a while back that I never really got around to making because I do them in my videos quite often, and by the time that I finish with my videos, I don't have the energy, the fire inside, the burning desire to scream and rant and yell and yeah. I don't have it, but now I do. Now I do because I've decided to go back on my hiatus and play some Mabinogi, one of my favorite games, a game that I've been playing for almost a decade now, a game that through the years I have enjoyed no matter what has happened, even the lows, the highs, the mids, I have enjoyed it, and I have endured it, and I have suffered it. And right now is one of those suffering moments. I've come back after a year hiatus. After 8 years of playing, I've taken a little bit of a break to play other things. And I've seen what Mabinogi has become. The stark disappearances, the empty channels, the AFK people just not doing anything. No one's doing the events, no one's doing the missions, no one's sitting in town. Why? Because the game has gone downhill. My favorite game. Going down the shitter? I can't stand it. So between you and me, I'm gonna spit. I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna spit some things. This game, long ago, was a game of humans, essentially. Slowly but surely becoming gods and goddesses. It was intense, it was nice, it was action-packed, it was tough, difficult. It made you make decisions and choices and combat tactics that you wouldn't really do in games. There were penalties to death, something that almost a decade ago, besides just starting over, wasn't really something practiced. You'd lose EXP, you'd lose health, there was wound. You have to revive your pets, everything cost money. It was exciting. It made you feel responsible for a lot more than you thought. Windmill made you lose HP. Smash took a long time to do. Normal attacks you had to commit to. There was no canceling or anything like that. No fighter, no gunner, no ninja, no nothing. Play dead was only allowed to the benevolent humans and elves. Giants didn't get that shit, but we dealt. It was exciting. The windmill spammers, the 100-man P.E.K.K.A. raids. Normal. The whole party sitting in CR, normal, waiting for a full party to fight that golem. It was exciting, and it made us want to keep playing. And I don't think we're going to get that feeling back, at least not without effort from Nexon. And effort from us, voicing what we want, and what that means. Back in the olden days, it used to cost money to use your transformation, talk to your ego. Your ego was actually useful. Transformation made a difference. Doubling your HP was godlike. Now, it doesn't really double your HP. It has a small and insignificant bonus to most of us endgame players. But the game was still exciting. Even the normal dungeons were a challenge. Fighting a field boss was a server endeavor, and we worked together with guilds of hundreds to try to take down a dragon. Now, most of your endgame players can solo them with their hands tied behind their back, just headbutting it to death. Not a stat problem, not at all. It's just most of the problems that we overcame were due to their AI. Once you've mastered the AI and what their abilities do, it's pretty easy to predict and counter them. You've probably seen dragon fighting tactics, staying on the edge of their charge zone and staying on their rest point. Right behind them, so they charge at you, stop, turn around, charge away, and then they notice that no one's there, so they turn around and charge back. It's pretty predictable. Trust me, Nexon, it's predictable. We all found out. You should watch the game sometime. You might find out what's wrong. But I liked soloing dragons because I beat their AI. I liked it. It was fun to overcome a challenge because you were smarter. Now, people don't need that. Now we've reached a stage in the game, how it is now, that we are indeed gods and goddesses. It's kind of fucking... It psychs me up to be as powerful as a god and challenge Morrigan and Niamhain and Nuadha. It felt great to be that strong, that they would be afraid of us. But now, we have all these shadow missions and theater missions and dungeons and raids, field bosses that aren't a challenge in the slightest. This shit's easy. I don't understand how I'm supposed to find enjoyment in this anymore. Which is sad because I was one of your biggest advocates. I told 400 people. Or 300 to 400 people. Mabinogi is amazing. Play it. It's fun. I enjoy it. It's my favorite fucking game. I would play it over anything else given the choice. I love the fashion, the weapons, the versatility, the lack of racial binding and classes, despite the fact that there are, and there is, but it's not that many. There's barely a difference between giants, elves, and humans anymore, despite the fact that they get some fashions, they get a couple weapons, and a couple skills more than we do. I'm really hoping they give giants range, please. They took our tubas, they took our knuckles, but we don't get their bows? Whatever. But now, instead of rewarding people for overcoming AI with their intelligence, with their skills and knowledge of the game, they're rewarding people who buy Gachapons. Now, if you're unfamiliar with Gachapons, this shit is like item boxes. I got a couple opening videos, I open this stuff, but I don't abuse it. I like seeing what they put in them, where their minds are, what they think the player base wants from them. And I'm actually extremely disappointed. Nexon has no clue what their player base wants. At least Nexon NA have no idea what their player base wants. I wouldn't be surprised if they ended the game because, oh, we're getting less players and less players. Oh well, they must just have lost interest. Time to put all of our money into Vindictus. Nah, you don't even play that much anymore. Mabinogi now, with the amount of reforges and fine reforges and special reforges and rank 1 3-line items out of gacha or some shit. The max roll gacha items, enchanted with things that you can't even find. Enchanted with things that would blow your setup 5 times over from the get-go. It gets Nexon so much money, yes. I'm proud that they are so business-minded and can take care of their company. But what about the players that play the game? Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I like the Gachapons too. It's great. But what about the dungeons, the shadow, the actual content of the game? Dungeons. Passes come randomly, at random intervals, from random enemies you defeat. Randomly, they're a reward in the box at the end of the dungeon, at the very end. Some dungeons are 5 floors long. Some dungeons have over 100 rooms. Some dungeons can take over an hour to do. For the chance to get a pass to a higher difficulty, and sometimes not even the difficulty you want. You can run a normal dungeon and get a basic pass, and then run that basic dungeon and get another basic pass, and you're like, well, shit, I'm out of luck. Time to run it again until I hopefully get something. Spend hours just grinding for nothing. For a garbage amount of EXP, no training because everything's weaker than you. And half the skills, if not more than half the skills in the game, require a certain combat power to train. And all of us end gamers have so much combat power from the stats and abilities that we have that we can't train anything new. All these new skills are fantastic. I can't train them. I can't even trade my old skills because the new skills have given me so much CP I can't even see past my own muscles. It's just absurd. I wanted to train throwing attack, just 1 or 2 more ranks, and I can't. I find one boss monster in the entire fucking mission in an elite that I can barely find passes for. And I get 0.01 EXP training for every javelin I throw at a 6-second cooldown. One enemy. I could train on that one enemy for days, and I still wouldn't even rank it up. It's silly. And the Gachapon's full of full training potions. Well, what the fuck's the point of training then? Nexon's writing themselves into a hole here. That's fantastic that they've made the game easier accessible to new players with all these Gachapons and fully updated gear and maxed out stuff. It's fantastic. But what it means is all us older players are getting outclassed real quick by people that have no dedication to the game. They come in, buy some stuff, and leave. And they fuck the market. They don't know what anything's worth. They get it, and they immediately start selling shit for billions, if not all the money you could possibly afford. Real life money. It doesn't matter. They don't know what things are worth. And even if they're not money hungry enough to overprice things, they're just giving shit away to people that would. It's fucked. Because the only way to afford most of the shit in the market is to abuse the market or spend absurd amounts of NX, which is fine. It happens in MMOs. It's great. But at least in things like Vindictus, WoW, RuneScape even, there are ways to make an income that isn't shafted by pay to win. There are ways to get items that are worth money, ways to make a difference in the economy through grind or life skills. But slowly but surely they're being erased. Most of the the craftable items are released in Gachapons with a higher grade than could ever be obtained with crafting, with reforges that you can't get while crafting, that are maxed out as if you would spend 50 or so on fine reforges trying to get to rank 1. What the fuck's the point? Why even practice life skills? Why even grind? These Gachapons make it far too easy. And the events are fun. I've always loved the events. Except people keep doing this thing where they call Gachapons events, and then Nexon calls them events. And now here we are with these Gachapons, Avon crystals, for theater missions that no one runs anymore. Shadow mission crystals, when rarely anyone runs shadow missions beyond the daily anymore. Dungeon passes. Elite mission passes. That's fantastic. But you run these, and the reward is like a 2-centimeter gem. Some potions. What the fuck? Who writes this? What sick sadistic bastard wrote the drop lists? Now I understand that if you make something common in the drop list, it won't be special. That's great. But I've run missions hundreds of times. I've run missions that take 2 hours to run. I've soloed P.E.K.K.A. Abyss, and I got a 3-centimeter gem and some garbage. I didn't get no sword. I didn't get any armor. I didn't get shit. I didn't even get an enchant. I got nothing. For like an hour and a half to 2 hours of work. Absolutely nothing. What's the return? Getting a pass should be rewarding. Not a death sentence. Or a chore. You should be like, oh yeah, I got that elite pass. I'm gonna fight some monsters. I'm gonna enjoy myself. I don't enjoy myself anymore. It's become a horrible grind even when I'm not grinding. Because you know you're not gonna get anything good. And you know you're not gonna get anything trained. And you're gonna get an abysmal amount of EXP. And when you have 5,000 AP, do you even need EXP anymore? I sit sometimes at age 60. A level like 200 plus, not doing anything because there's nothing I need to do. And I know, start a new character. You've maxed the skills or whatever. Your end game, that's fine. But where's the reward? I don't feel any different from I did when I last played. What's to get? What's to do? Where's the end goal? Where's the big bad boss? Field bosses? Nah, we already killed those pretty easily. The raid? I see people solo that with Final Hit. Speaking of which, I'm gonna get to you soon, Final Hit. God damn you. Whoever the hell coded you, whoever the hell made you, is an idiot. But all this, lack of intrigue and exploration, lack of challenge, lack of needing a sort of way to progress, like some call or goal, is leading to people just leaving. The old players are leaving, and the new players have no dedication. The new players were like, old players, there's a challenge. I want to fight them. I want to learn from them. I want to be them. There are no more of them if this keeps up. And then the new players leave. Where's your player base in like a year? Do you see yourself being a game in 2 years? You gonna have the money for Mabinogi 2? You gonna try? You gonna do anything? There's just no pull anymore. If you want to do anything, like theater missions, for instance, you need to spend 9 hours getting passes. Shearing sheep for a luck-based pass that you can make with a horrifyingly low success rate. It's terrible. And no one wants to do it anymore either. We have fun together. We are the fun. The players are the fun. The missions aren't. I like missions that have challenge, that aren't just numbers. The enemies are actually difficult because they have parameters that need to be met, certain stats that are interesting, skills and abilities that you need to worry about, the Reaper, the Dullahan, all those special sub-effects, the poisons, the resistance to certain types of damage, the ghasts. The ghasts. I scream about them daily, but they are what make me go to P.E.K.K.A. Fight them because they are a challenge. They require quick thinking, versatility, types of damage, CC, avoidance of damage. It's amazing fighting them. But that's just them. There aren't much more. And that's just the game. That's just the game itself. What about the company? What about how they treat the game? With the hackers and the glitches and the people abusing them and the duplicators and the black robe incidents. People lost their accounts and almost never got them back, and by the time they got them back, they didn't even want to play anymore. They either made new accounts or just didn't care. The accounts being deleted? There's nothing they can do for them, apparently. People have just quit outright because they couldn't get into their main character. And I've been told time and time again how customer support does nothing for them. They have live speech. I've spoke to customer support representatives and I've been taken care of. But I haven't always been. And there are some who never get a response, never get a return email besides your ticket has been closed. And now to solve this, I assume to solve this, they've gotten rid of mods apparently? When the fuck did this happen? Who the fuck gets rid of mods? Fucking WoW got mod support. Most games nowadays love their modders. Please, yes sir, give me mods, sir, yes. Revitalize my game for me. Make some texture packs. Make some fucking anime characters. Replace the main characters. Fuck it. Give some sweet ass looking weapons to all my people. Fucking Genji's katana from fucking Overwatch. Put that shit into Left 4 Dead. Fucking WoW. Give yourself some anime characters. All these other games. Just replace the skins. It's fantastic. Just no unfair advantages. No, But seriously. All mods? It's a bannable offense? Really? No tiara? Moonshine? No? I can understand that Peak, back when they was released, it was a travesty. But really? I can't have HD texture packs? That shit was beautiful. I can't have anime characters. I can't have different ego appearances. I can't have my Hyrule shield. I can't make my polar or my white bear turn into glass Gablian. I can't change the font size. My eyes are bad. I need some different font size. I can't have that? Really? God, that sucks. I can't have custom music? What the fuck? Some mods were used to make the game not lag horribly and have you crash every time you enter Terra. It removed the crappy, useless buildings. That's great, Nexon. You spent so long working on a city that you could only enter 2 buildings and no one gave a fuck. Made hundreds of other buildings that just lag people's computers. It's fantastic. Let us remove them. You don't give a fuck. But that's not allowed anymore. All right. What about the zoom? When I started the game and I was a giant, the second I went to Dumbarton, I wanted to kill myself. The zoom was horrible. I was stuck in my own asshole. I couldn't move the camera farther back. It sucked. It was a stone throw away. I want to zoom out further. I want to play an RTS. Let me play from space. At least I can see my character. Dueling sucked because my camera was shoved up my own anus. And that's just them. That's how they take care of their game, apparently. And I mentioned glitches. These glitches have been the bane of my existence for years. Fighter combos being interrupted by people, by your allies, by enemy positioning. A pet knocked something back that someone summoned, and you can't connect charging strike, and your uppercut fails and goes into cooldown, and your somersault kick also goes into cooldown, and you're like, what the fuck, I just lost 50% of my skills in an instant. You're charging focus fist, and it goes off in an inane direction. You're like, alright, cool. You charging strike, and it connects with nothing, goes into cooldown. Alright, fine, there goes all my abilities. You go to counter, your counter's loaded, it's still loaded, and you're being hit? Really? You go to evade, and you evade in an awkward direction. Desynchronization is a horrifying thing, and it's present all the time. I don't think I've ever seen it be fixed. Leap attacks, connecting and knocking enemies up in your face and causing them to kill you instantaneously. Drop kicks being hit by the person who's attacking you, the AI enemy. That's fantastic, though. But goes into cooldown? Really? Gunner combos, shooting rush, going in inane directions, not hitting anything. It's sad. About the desynchronization of positioning, rafting has still never been fixed, and never will be fixed, despite the fact that it is, well, I don't know about you, but it is my primary form of exploration EXP. I ain't gonna go and sketch the fucking Lich in whatever that place is, Metis. I'm not sketching the Lich 800 times on Sunday. No. I'm gonna explore. I'm gonna fight exploration monsters. I'm gonna get my stars and I'm gonna get my statues. But every single solitary time I try to use my intermediate magic, thunder, ice spear, fireball, my character is desynchronized. I'm standing on one edge of a fucking raft, and suddenly when I try to attack, I move 800 feet to the fucking left, and now I'm hanging on the other side of the raft, and none of my abilities work. I move an inch on the raft, and suddenly I teleport to the middle of the raft. Where the fuck is my character? I don't fucking know. Fix it, Nexon. That's one activity out of the two that exist that give stars for exploration. What the fuck? Add more or fix this. You worried about the goddamn Gachapon contents, but you ain't fixing the game that the content goes to. It's absurd. And then you get into the whole monsters not spawning. Being lagged back a couple feet every time you try to auto-attack something. You ever try to train something with Bryonac, and you'd have to train it like 600 times with one usage of Bryonac, and your game freezes and crashes? That ever happened to you? Happened to me. I'm not sure if it's a common thing, but I've noticed it. It sucks. You ever try to change channels and then just crash? Happens to me. It sucks. Your houses can hold 5 million gold when you're selling items in your housing channel. How much gold do you think most endgame players have? I, for one, spent 30 million on an ex-girlfriend. My house holds 5 million. The fuck am I gonna do? Stay in all day, selling things? It's not advantageous to the player who has shit to do. So you just take a break. You just get off. Because multitasking in the game is not easy. Because they don't allow it to be easy. They added autoplay because they wanted players to have an easier time training it. But where the hell's my auto gather? Where the hell's my potion making beyond 20 attempts? If I put 60 base herbs and 60 mana herbs in my shit, I should be able to make 60 mana potions, right? Nope, 20. Why? Training requires you to make thousands. I have to sit here through every interval of 20 to make thousands? That's migraine-inducing. Who would want to do that? And then there's the mining. They added auto-drilling and auto-shillion ecology, but flooded the place with monsters. No one wants to do that. They found ways to glitch around the rocks so they didn't have to do that. The player base doesn't want to suffer life skills. But you made it suffering as hell. You made it horrifyingly sufferable. So why do people do this? Well, when shit first comes out, they do it to get money. They do it to make a living. And then you release all of the shit that it gives in Gachapon. So now no one wants to do it. Why would you waste months getting rank 1 anything in life skills when the Gachapon already has it out? But this can all be fixed. This can all be fixed. Holy shit, this can all be fixed. I know it can. I've seen it in my mind's eye. All of this taken care of. It's amazing. It's fantastic. It's a wonderful place. You should come into my head. Just hop on in. I'll take you for a ride. Trust me. Change the rewards. Make it rewarding. Change the monsters. Give them our skills. Instantaneously loading skills should have been given to them ages ago. I don't know why you didn't. Add some of the items, not all of them, Gachapon items to the chests of dungeons. Advanced dungeons, hard mode dungeons. There were once vintage items that you couldn't get in Gachapons. You couldn't get them anywhere. You couldn't buy them. They were obtained from hard mode dungeons. Vintage Dust and Silver Knight sets, other vintage things, vintage Colin shit. It was fan-fucking-tastic. We loved it. We want more of it. We want rewards, things that justify doing hard shit, things that make us feel like we accomplished something. Change the damn rewards. Put fine reforges in a shop somewhere that we can spend some sort of currency on it. I remember when you released Adventurer Seals. That shit was legit. Royal Nard Armor, oh yeah, I had so much fun grinding that shit. Hundreds of thousands. You wanna know why I had fun grinding despite the fact that I hate grinding? And y'all know that. Y'all know I hate grinding. Because I felt like it was rewarding. I felt like I got something out of it. And that was fan-fucking-tastic. Getting shit for doing shit, When you run P.E.K.K.A. Abyss 2 hours and you get a 3 centimeter gem, I just want to fucking kill someone. But if you made it so you run a 2 hour long mission and you get some armor, some reforges, some enchants, potions, money, you got me. I'm sold. Please, Nexon gods, please give it to us. Please bring back the golden age when getting shit for doing shit was key. I pray that someone will talk to someone and someone will do something and we will get that. Please. Yes, sir. Until then, I guess I'm just gonna chill and do the bare minimum and watch people get hundreds of thousands of gacha and a billion reforge kits and solo dragons with their bare hands. As they just keep releasing stronger and stronger weapons and skills, but not buffing the monsters in any way, shape, or form, because people just love beating on crippled-ass monsters. One day. One day. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, we're watching these peeps. This is Romanji, and this was me ranting. I got a couple more of these things to record, too. I got some shit for you.